Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I will be starting a series which I'm going to be calling I Can't Cook Either, where I'm going to be cooking or baking a bunch of things with my limited skill. So the first thing we are going to be doing today is I'm going to be making apple crisp, which is kind of like apple pie, but it doesn't have a crust, which is much easier, and honestly I like it better because I'm not a big pie crust fan. So the first thing to do is to preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be awfully hot if you were using Celsius. To make this apple crisp, you are going to need 6 pounds of apples. This is roughly 5 or 6 big apples. I'm using Granny Smith because I like how the tartness works with the sweetness of the rest of it. 1 cup of sugar, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Also, on this little jar, it says serving suggestion. Please do not put a whole spoon of cinnamon in your mouth. 2 teaspoons lemon juice, half a cup of butter, which is a whole stick, 3/4 cup flour, a 1/4 cup of oats, and half a teaspoon of salt. I'm following a recipe, and the recipe will be down in the description if you would like to look at it. After you've preheated the oven, you're going to butter the pan you're going to be using to put the apple crisp in. It says an 8-inch pan on the recipe. I'm not allowed to know how big this pan is because it doesn't have any dimensions on the bottom of it. Most pans do. So you take the stick of your butter, or however you like your butter to go. And you're going to butter the pan so nothing sticks. So in this series, I want to have like a slightly chaotic Food Network kind of show where I just like make things, but also I'm not going to be very good at making things because, again, I can't cook either. And I know throughout the series, someone's probably going to get mad at me for doing something stupidly, but let's hope that doesn't happen in today's episode. Okay, so once you're all done buttering that, you can put that aside for now because you're going to need it for the crumb on top later. After you've buttered the pan, you can just put it aside for later. So the next part of this is the peeling process. Now, if you just have like a potato peeler, that's totally fine, and then you're going to have to cut them. However, we have this tool that is perfect for this job and perfect for just only this job, and it peels and cores and slices the apples in spirals. So I have a much easier job than those of you who do not have this special tool. I think I know how to use this tool, and it's going to make that fun noise the entire time. So these apples are pretty big, so we're probably only going to need 5 of them. This apple feels a little bruised, but that might be because they dropped on the floor earlier. Let's try to... I'm really hoping I'm doing this correctly. What I know about this is that I have to just keep going. Like, that's the #1 thing. Just keep doing it evenly. All right. That's not great, but it's okay. So now, that's bizarre. Okay, now I just do this 5 more times. You can keep the apple skin noodles for a fun snack if you want. I'm gonna get a paper plate. Apple noodle, apple noodle. And see how it's coil cut now? There's juice everywhere. I have 5 peeled, but when I'm constructing the thing and if I actually need more, I can peel and cut the other one. So now there is an abundance of apple noodle. You can do with the apple noodle as you please. If you want it as a snack to share with your friends and family or with your dog, I might give Rugby some. So now we have these guys and we need to cut them. These ends with skin on them are no good. And then this, you just cut in half. Make sure there's no like big core pieces inside. So you do this with all of them. So they're half and half. Oh no. So here's one I don't know what I'm going to do with. I think I'm probably going to like individually go through and just make sure that there are no skin pieces. What I might do is just Okay, that's chaos. You probably shouldn't do that. So I guess I'll get a bowl and put the apples in the bowl. So first we can, okay, I'm gonna put all the apples in, and then I'm thinking I'm tossing the apple in this stuff. There's a reason why this series is called I Can't Cook Either. I don't have the baker's intuition or the chef's intuition. Truly am no Remy the Rat. I'm sure I'm doing this incorrect. You know what I think I'm supposed to do? Not do that. So I just messed that up. I don't think I'm supposed to be putting these in the bowl. Like, I think it's fine that I did that, but I don't think I'm supposed to do that. I think I'm supposed to mix the sugar, cinnamon, and lemon juice. I guess that's to make the apples from turning brown. There's not a lot of sugar in here, and most of it is clumpy. If it's a little extra, this is just making cinnamon sugar. If it's a little clumpy or there's a little extra, it's fine. This is just a shaker. Who is shaking cinnamon on top of something? Okay. Good enough. Then with a spoon, I'm just gonna the lemon instruction is confusing me. Like, I would think it's to prevent the apples from being brown, but also if you're like cooking it, why does that matter? You know? And then like also if I'm doing it this way, if I'm placing the apples down and then like sprinkling cinnamon sugar between the layers. I've just got my fingers in the cinnamon sugar. So that's the other thing about this series. I'm gonna be making things and it's gonna be like a instructional video, but like, is it gonna be an instructional video? Let's put these boys in. So I'm like overlapping them a little bit, but not like too much. There's gonna be a lot of time lapses in this video, I think. And so I'm gonna just sprinkle a little, oh gosh, oh boy, I don't know if this is the way to go about it. Sprinkle a little bit on, and then I'm gonna put the cinnamon sugar on. I hope it's not too tart. So you're only supposed to use 2 teaspoons of this, I think. So I'm just gonna splash it less vigorously. I don't know. I might have sliced too many apples, actually. So I have some leftover apples. So as my apples progressively turn browner, we're going to make the crumb for on top, which I don't have that much room. Again, these clumps don't matter all that much because now I'm really putting my whole hand in it. So make sure your hands are clean. Nothing in this recipe is really a science, which is unlike most baking. So this is like good enough. So I need 3/4 cup of flour. This is a 3/4. Okay, whatever. So I have to wash out my teaspoon to get the salt. Again, if you put more in, just gonna be a little saltier. So now I'm going to be cutting this butter into chunks so it's easier to do this. Now, unfortunately, with your whole hands, mix it all together. I don't like touching this. I'm not gonna lie, it's not pleasant. Good enough. So now I'm just gonna like put some on top. And then on top of the crumbs, in the original recipe, it's nuts. So if you want to chop up nuts and put some nuts on top, you can. The way my family makes this recipe, we just put oats on top. So with the oats, technically with the oats or nuts, it says 1/4 cup, but I'm just gonna sprinkle some on top, especially because I know mine is a little overflowing already. Just gonna grab a spoon here and then I'm gonna sprinkle some oats on top. So there we have it. So what you're going to do with this is that we're going to bake it for 45 minutes or until the apples feel tender. So while you're waiting these 45 minutes, you can feed apples to your dog. You can research Johnny Appleseed. What was up with that guy? And why in like 1st and 2nd grade were my elementary school teachers like, yeah, this is a man you need to know about. This folklore is important to your education. Or you could clean up. That's no fun though. But do you want an apple? You're a good boy. Come on. So it's been 45 minutes. I'm going to test the tenderness of the apples by stabbing the middle with a knife. So the apples are still hard, so we're going to keep it in a little longer. It hasn't quite been 10 minutes. I set the timer for another 10, but I'm gonna stab it anyway because it looked really bubbly. That feels pretty soft to me, so I'm going to take it out. I'm gonna let it cool down, and then in a little while I'm going to taste it, and hopefully it's not going to be horrible. All right, so I think it's cooled down enough for me to take a taste. And we can see if I made it good. Yep. It tastes good. It tastes like apple crisp. That's the goal, right? And so once again, the recipe will be down in the description if you wanted to try your hand making it. It's definitely a little salty, I think, but it's fine. Definitely do not do what I did with the lemon. That's what I'm gonna say about that. So if you liked the video, you can check out some of the other videos that I've made. I've only made 2 so far. And you can leave a like or comment, or perhaps even subscribe if you want to stick around. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!